Hello, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XI. Here we are in Rulude Gardens. I just finished up the second trial for the Excalibur, and I thought I'd show off, since last time I showed starting these, at the end, I would show off getting one of the trials done, because why not? You have done well, Kupo. The Magian Mooglehood recognizes your feats and proffers you a new portion of our ancestral powers. Ready yourself to receive our boon. Heart magic, huh? What is this, Care Bears? Ugh, we got hit with a Care Bear stare. Oh no, it suddenly became the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny. Damage plus 2! Oh snap! Nah, but it's another trial out of our way. All the relics are like this. You do these trials that take a few hours each, and then you get a small upgrade, but then after like every 3 trials you get a big upgrade. And I think the next trial's reward is actually upgrades the Excalibur to a level 80 sword. Also, excuse me for burping. I just had a Spam and turkey sandwich because I needed something quick, and yeah, that's quick, so. What's the details? Killing blows with Knights of the Rounds on 300 lizards. Okay. Gonna take probably about 4 hours, maybe 5. And the reward... Oh, no, this is the last level 75 trial. Okay. We can actually see the next trial, though. We can actually look and see how far away we are from upgrading the sword to a point where we can't use it until, we... Okay, so it's the next trial that will upgrade it to 80. So, yep, I sure am. Not going to do it on camera, but, It's really simple and monotonous. Every time you kill shot a lizard type enemy like a raptor, or a lizard, or an adamantoise, or I think wyvers count in the lizard family. Although you wouldn't want to use them for kill shot trials, I don't think. But basically, every time, yeah, you kill shot it with Knights of the Round, an objective gets ticked off, and you actually the game records it in your log. It'll say objectives remaining, 299. Objectives remaining 298 and such. And I'll handle that in my own time. But of course, I don't want to like upgrade the Excalibur so much that I can't use it. Because then, but we'll eventually reach a point where I want to go beyond the level 75 cap. I already kind of do. I mean, stuff is really racking up. Like, I can't do my first Lieutenant Assaults by myself. I couldn't do. I had to basically beg for help from my friend Vox. I mean, I didn't beg her, but it's like for someone of her power level in this game, yeah, it's kind of like just like a chore. It's like, hey, could you do this chore for me, Vox? It's not like let's hang out and be equals. It's hey, do this for me. But I don't know. I really appreciate that she helped me. But it is kind of annoying to have to bug someone. And that's one of the reasons the social experience back in the day at the 75 cap was so good. Was because once you got a job at level 75, like, you weren't necessarily dealing with your exact equals in, job power or gameplay-wise. But, you were at the same, like, tier of power, right? Like, if you needed something that needed a group, then you could get a group of people, and none of you had to feel like you were getting carried. Even though, I mean, player skill varies wildly. And hell yeah, a lot of people actually did get carried through events back in the day. Because they didn't actually understand what was going on, or why they were bad, or, there was just some people also who refused to macro change gear. Saying, that's not what the developers intended, we shouldn't have to do that stuff. Which honestly makes a lot of the melee jobs really boring. Because macroing your gear, it's like giving yourself a buff, right? Like, oh, snap, I can just macro on all this super high strength gear all of a sudden. Like, a lot of the gear is so oddly specific that macros are really the only way you were gonna ever make use of most of it anyway. Although back in the day, you could only macro 6 items at a time. In one macro, you could only, in order to change as many items as, like, I do right now, like, you had to write 2.5 macros of, like, equip head, you know, this, equip body, this, equip hands, this, and there were no equipment sets. So quality of life has gone way, way up, and macro changing gear has actually improved, like, 20-fold. So it's not even annoying anymore. But even back in the day, you could just get by on, I never liked the word grind. I sure as hell don't. I always called it leveling up. Afraid of getting your hands dirty, First Lieutenant Colmwind? You really ought to be feeling some responsibility for the future of Salyum Sentinels by now. Good for nothing, blockheaded. But enough of that. You want to hear something strange? Recently, I've been floating on a cloud of calm. Is that an innuendo? I'm sure you're aching to know why. You see, the company earnings have finally begun to live up to my expectations, and it's about time. Those days and nights of painfully building up a reputation for my budding enterprise have finally paid off. I can sense that the universe is rewarding me for my effort. Things are going to be okay from now on. I'm certain of it. I even started to think about showing some gratitude towards my faithful employees. La 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 la. Calm wind. Calm wind. Over here. Ever since the Windurstian ambassador left, President Naja has been completely focused. Nothing but work, work, and more work. Her head has been filled with nothing but the sound of clinking coins. Her dedication to running of this business has been even more pathological than usual. So now, seeing President Naja in this tranquil state is unsettling, to say the least. She barely registers the existence of anyone around her when she gets like this. Oh? Was there something you wish to discuss with the President? For I, Abquaba, am here to answer all your queries and doubts. I feel I owe you a favor after all. Now what's on your mind, Calmwind? What happened to Gasho? Well, he hasn't been shown his beacon here for a while. Some of the other mercenaries say they've seen him in Namuk. He must be keeping busy with missions, I suppose. Now, what's on your mind, Calmwind? Lady Karababa? Oh dear, I wouldn't mention that name around President Naja. Now, what's on your mind, Calmwind? Half Mao? Half Mao? Uh-oh. Oh dear. President Naja! What? How many times do I gotta tell you not to yell in my ear like that? I've neglected to bring a very important matter to your attention. My most humble apologies. Well, what do we have here? A gilded envelope stamped with seal of the two-headed serpent. Signed in the hand of the Grand Vizier? Dude, she threw her mace. She just, like, threw her mace up. Addressed to Calm Wind. Been singled out by the palace again. Do you mind if I take a quick look at this? Does it matter if I mind? Aren't you just gonna look at it anyway? Oh ho! Did you show up today because you had a feeling this would be arriving? I had no idea. Well, you could have fooled me. This here letter is a personal summons from the Grand Vizier Razfad himself. We've come up in the world now, haven't we, Mr. First Lieutenant? For the looks of it, His Excellency requires your presence pronto. You know what you gotta do? Why are you still here? Are you trying to bring the wrath of the entire palace down upon us? Are you trying to cut into our new profit margin? Are you... I've worked too hard to save this company's reputation ruined, or to have this company's reputation ruined by the likes of you. Now scat! Scat man's world. No, wrong kind of scat. That word has too many meanings now. I wish I were still a kid. Okay, let's see. Looking up the missions, because I was like, I'm gonna go do Treasures of Aht Urhgan because I'm recording now. then I, like, didn't open up a guide to make sure I was going to the right places. Oh, it says we gotta unequip our weapon again. Da-da-da-da. I actually finished my relic weapon faster than I thought I would, and I still haven't caught up on my recordings. Like right now I'm in the middle of uploading Chains of Promathia. It's like, I think I just uploaded the Mithrin Tracker fight and the Snow fight today. But I'm still behind by like, I don't know, 18 recordings or something. Maybe even more. And definitely more now that I continue recording. Oh. Alright, it's time for Calm Wind talks to another one of his guys with the same face. Duh. Why don't they ever inform these stupid fucking guards? Sell swords. We meet again, mercenary. Calm Wind, wasn't it? We are once again in need of your impressive talents. According to the report we received from Salahim Sentinels, it would appear that Calm Wind is entrusted with duties not only within the boundaries of the Empire, but across every nation of the Arajiha continent. Would you agree with this evaluation? Actually, I don't get out much. Yeah, the report's accurate. Be that as it may, we have not seen the slightest response from the astral compass you carry on your person. Gatsad of the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute was most disappointed by the lack of astral candescence readings. However, we have no intention of abandoning our search for the candescences. The Empire and the Empress must know peace once more. Our citizens have suffered enough. As a mercenary on the front line of battle, you as much as anyone should understand the importance of our mission. Rob on. The details of the mission, if you will. Sir. I trust you remember the court puppet master. Lady Afmao has disappeared from the palace grounds. This was some days ago. From your expression, I assume this is the first you've heard of the matter. Considering your recent involvements in events, we thought that perhaps you might... It appears we shall have to widen our search area. The Serpent Generals require my presence. I leave this matter in your capable hands. Sir! As you have probably guessed, the Grand Vizier wishes you to track down the whereabouts of Lady Afmao. We believe she set out for the search the winding tunnels of Adiwa for her lost automaton of Zheng. I was still reading in Raban's voice, but it was Amnoff speaking. My bad. Minajing, her other automaton, is missing along with his mistress. We have already sent Rishfee of the Immortals to recover our wayward puppet master, but I am dubious of his potential for success. If she learns that a mortal is on her trail, she is likely to go into hiding. Calm Wind, I give you these orders in the name of the Grand Vizier. You are to return to Idwiwa Subterrane and assist Rishfee in his efforts to locate Lady Afmao. I will communicate the details of the mission to your company. Do not fail us. Hey, it's the first time Raban's given us a mission since we kicked his ass in the Blue Genkai. I wonder if there's any differing dialogue, like if you were on Blue Mage. Alright, so the mission we're on now is called Misplaced Nobility. Okay, so we gotta go to Idwiwa Subterrane. And obviously we can just use the book warp, because this is we're in 2022. The game could shut down any day, and dicks. Dicks. Now, actually, I heard that the player base count since their last census actually rose, and they're surprised about it, and that means the game is actually still turning a profit, and so they're not actually going to shut it down anytime soon. It might go on for another couple years. It might go on for another 5. Pardon me. Hey. Continue into the subterranean until you find a room at E9 F9. Okay. So it's not just go to Adwea subterranean. You should have said, like, they could have just bundled go to Adwea subterranean and go to E9 in a single bullet point. Someday, the people who write these guides and edit these guides will keep them concise and direct. But today is not that day. Love the music in here. Oh yeah, I just remembered another lizard monster. It could work on buggards too. Although I think every buggard outside of Abyssia zones is too low in level to give EXP and count for the Magian trial. Okay, so it says go to E9/F9. It's that circular room that's coming up to our west. This way, if you listen to this music, it could fit right into a Dragon Quest game. Hey, there's a planar rift here. I wonder if we could have taken Voidwatch Warp if we had access to Voidwatch. Although I guess we're still not quite in the right spot, because now we're at F8. So I guess it's got to be this oval room to the south. With Great Ameritats and Chigos in it, huh? Head west down the ramp, which takes you to map number 5. Oh, whoops, I forgot my preferred invisibility spells operating device. I was working on the trial that I did, the 200 kill shots on undead. I did that in the Bostono Oubliette or whatever, beneath Sandoria. It was a really good place to do it too at 75, because there's a bunch of dogs and ghosts down there, and the hound family in this game is considered undead. Okay, so take the west ramp down. Is this going to be the same location as where we found her getting attacked by the key cairn? Or is this a slightly different location? Okay. There's a blank target you need to check for the cutscene. Yep, that would be it. Quadjoam tigers, huh? Why would tigers live underground with a bunch of Malboros? Uh-oh, looks like Rishfee got beaten up by the Kirkiran. Woohoo! Immortals have big clink clink. We be lucky today. We be so lucky to listen to Wawaroon. Gogoroon lucky. Gogoroon loves sound of clink clink. Aha, number 9, the Vavaroon. What a Vavaroon? You check Immortal, not trying to fool us, yes? Job for Vavaroon? Vavaroon check, Ruroon. Hoo-ha, hoo. This immortal not fooling Ruru. Aha, okay. Number 7, go Rune. What? Search immortal for clink. Okay, go Rune going in. We be rolling and clink. Immortal having nothing. Impossible, look again. Gogorun telling you, immortal be having nothing. Gogorun feeling blue. Ahaha, someone coming. Rune. Leave the immortal. We be getting out of here. Oh, okay, we be lucky another time. Okay, Vavarun meeting with Vavarun later. Rune. Where? Who's there? Oh, it's you. Wonder how long I was out. I didn't hear it or sense anything until someone was right behind me. Oh, guess so. I must be getting careless. Who would be bold enough to assault an immortal? But I've wasted too much time already. I have to find... Hey, what are you doing here anyway? Hmm? You were sent by the Grand Vizier. You're too late. Seems I arrived after Alfmau had already left. You can still see Hume and automaton footprints all over the place. I'm certain she was here. But I don't think she found any sign of Avjang. How do I know that? I just found her dragging footprints out of the tunnels as if she had given up. And then everything went black. All is not lost, however. I think I know where she went. Walra Temple. I'm almost certain she would return there. Let's get moving. Oh, my head is still spinning. Calm wind. You must return to Alzabi and make sure she's okay. I have to see her before the other immortals figure out where she is. No time to lose. Well, he doesn't seem like the other immortals, huh? They all seem pretty ruthless and efficient. He seems kind of like he knows what he's doing, but you know, Gesso got him by surprise. He must actually genuinely be worried about Afmal, and not just out on orders, you know. Enter the Walra Temple in Aht Urhgan Whitegate for a cutscene. Very well. Number 2 home point, please. That's the closest one to the Walra Temple. Although number 1's actually pretty close to it too. I mean, it's like it's between the Rune of Release and that intersection, so. Yeah, I guess they're about equidistant. Maybe this one's slightly closer. Swing. Welcome to Walra Temple. How may I aid you in your quest for knowledge? Hello, another soul thirsty for answers. Oh, it's Gasho again. This is turning out to be quite the day for visitors. This is turning out to be... Oh, wait, you already said that. Okay, it was just a pause on a... So I looked at the guide for a minute and I didn't really see the hesitation of the cutscene. Greetings! Calm wind, this is a coincidence. Lord and Day, or Nadi, please excuse me while I compare notes with my esteemed colleague. How do you fare? Nothing terrible has befallen you? No, you need not elaborate. I'm sure you were here to give your weary spirit a moment's respite from the madness of our occupation. Or perhaps it is some duty that brings you to this temple? What, pray tell, lures you within this hall of serenity? To speak with someone. To speak with someone? One of the philosophers? The court puppet master? What dire circumstance would involve a mercenary in the pulling of strings and the dancing of automatons? The court puppet master? Lord Naday, if there is something we should know. Now, they said a mercenary hireling on her trailing? It appears the Grand Vizier is tired of this game of cat and mouse. It was only a matter of time. I suppose I shall have to come clean, as they say. And since you have some rudimentary understanding of Walra's teachings, I will entrust to your judgment. I have given the court puppet master, Lady F. Mao, shelter within the temple. You have given shelter to an imperial fugitive? That is correct. You have broken imperial law! I cannot dispute this fact. Why would you do this thing? Some explanation is in order. You see, F. Mao was born a child in high standing, a resident of the palace. A member of the royal family? However, her mother passed away when she was still but 6 years of age, and the responsibility for her upbringing came to rest with Walra Temple. What an unfortunate story. Yet there must be some more to the tale if none within the palace were willing to care for her. Yes, the details of mine are not mine to divulge, however. Her childhood was spent within these walls, surrounded by monks and philosophers. How does such a child find the path of a puppet master? I was not aware of it at the time, but apparently Lady F. Mao secretly learned the art from the street performers who practice on the way of the devout. Would not an expensive item such as an automaton have been difficult for a young girl to acquire? You are familiar with automatons, Gesho? I must admit to some curiosity. Then I shall speak more on the subject. Lady F. Mao arrived at the temple carrying 2 of the mechanical puppets. One she received from her mother, and the other from her older brother. Now I remember. At first the puppets were completely incapable of speech, and merely trotted around behind their little mistress. Before long, however, there was barely a moment when they weren't voicing their opinions on everything in sight. This change was accompanied by a return of Lady F. Mao's natural playfulness. Yeah, I had to sneeze. I am glad to hear that. I know only too well the loneliness and uncertainty that come with being thrust into an unfamiliar environment at a young age. Indeed. However, there came a day when F. Mao's simple life was irrevocably changed. Yes, it was that day. Lady F. Mao, we have come on orders from the Grand Vizier. We regret to inform you that on the evening of the previous day, the Emperor's immortal soul passed out of the realm of Urhgan. So why didn't the Grand Vizier just take over? I had not seen Lady F. Mao since that day. There are so many memories that flood back when I hear her name. She is currently within the Hall of Binding. You may speak with her if you wish. The hall adjoins our temple and can be reached through the door behind us. I shall remain here. There are some matters I wish to discuss with Lord Naday. Or Nadi. Oh snap, the immortals are seeing us anyway. The Astral Plinth. It looks exactly as I remember. I was studying day in, day out. The letters from my brother had stopped coming. It was more than I could bear. So you snuck into the Hall of Binding? Yes, with you. And Avjang. Just watching the incandescence spinning around and around somehow made me feel better. It was like being wrapped in a warm blanket of peace and calm. It was the first time. The first time you talked to me. It was? Minajing, you really are hopeless. That was when I realized I wasn't really alone. You and Avjang were always by my side. And although I couldn't see them, my father and brother were here in the city. And my mother, I'm sure she's watching over you, I'm certain. Yes. I decided then and there that I would become a puppet master like my mother. You slipped out of the temple every night and practiced with those performers. And then Avjang began to speak as well. Avjang really was the talkative one. Yes, she was, and she was so talkative that I couldn't hear your voice anymore. Well, that was then. You know, Minajing, I have no idea what the astral candescence is meant to be used for. But if the other candescences are found and the Colossus is completed just like the Grand Vizier says, there will come a day when everyone can be happy again, I'm sure of it. I mean, just look at this. Looking at this orb was enough to turn my life around. Everything will turn out for the best. Don't you think, Minajing? Calm Wind, what are you doing here? Calm Wind's badge flashes brightly. By order of the Grand Vizier? You can't be serious. You're here to take me back? No, I won't go. There are still things I have to do. Go back to the palace and tell them that. Do you still take orders from us? Sure. Now that's our mercenary talking. You may leave us now. Lord Nadier? The immortal Rishfee is here to see you. The Grand Vizier is onto us. Lady Aphmau, I'm glad to see you unharmed. Now it is time for you and Minajing to accompany me back to the palace. The earlier you return, the less Lord Razvad will be angry when he learns. You haven't made a report? No, Master Minajing. I thought first offered the option to Lady Aphmau. A commendable attitude, then I shall be pleased to inform you. The Lady Aphmau will not be returning to the palace. But, my lady, there are tasks left undone. Lady Aphmau, you still hope to find Avjang? If you knew that, why would you try to stop us? Rishfee, your face is pale. It's nothing. You should return to the Imperial Ward and visit the infirmary. You were very kind to me, my lady. However, you'll just slow us down. And where exactly do you intend to carry out this search of yours? I'm not going to tell you. You won't? Please, my lady, it's not safe out there. The Immortals will do everything in their power to return Avjang to your side. I don't believe you! You think I don't know? The Immortals are so busy watching the Beastmen and searching for the Ashu Talif. There hasn't a single soldier to spare for poor Avjang. I only thought to... If I may... Who's this? I am Gesho, a colleague of Calm Winds in the employ of Salahim's Sentinels. Another mercenary. I may have some welcome news. Just recently, I was in the vicinity of Mount Zion on mercenary business. At the foot of the volcano, I happened to see a red-colored puppet. And then? This automaton was trotting along the path all alone, but being busy in my mission, I was unable to follow. must have been Avjang. One moment, Lady Aphmau. The trolls of that region may have stolen many automatons from the Empire. That is true. Ah yes, I had forgotten. You weren't done? There appeared to be something like moss or lichen stuck to the puppet's clothes. Moss? It could have been from the Adiwa subterrane? I merely present the facts. How you interpret them is not for me to say. Only... Yes? The automatons taken to Halvung are thoroughly modified by moblin craftsmen to follow the orders of the trolls. After this process, they are barely recognizable. Oh! I would not waste any time if, as you suspect, this automaton was your companion. Yes, thank you. It is time I took my leave of you. Show, to what forsaken wilderness do your travels take you this time? My duties dictate a visit to the settlement of Mamuk. A dangerous region. Do take care of yourself. Concern is appreciated. Until next we meet. That settles it. We go to Mount Zion. Lady Aphmau, if I may. Rishfee, do you place so little faith in the court puppet master? Time is running out! I have just received confirmation. This Gesho character has no official orders that involve a visit to the capital of the Mamulja. He was lying? And that unmistakable presence. I felt this same exact aura just before I lost consciousness in Adwia. What are you trying to say? That story of his was nothing more than a ruse. In fact, it's more likely that we'll find Avjang in the same place we know he now travels, Mamuk. Then Mamuk is our destination. Why don't you escort me as well, Rishfee? If you are so intent on running headlong into danger, I suppose I have no choice. But what do you mean, as well? Isn't it obvious? I wouldn't brave the depths of Mamuk without my faithful bodyguard, Calm Wind. Even if he is under the command of the Grand Vizier. I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I get no privacy. Oh. Okay, so now we got to go to the Jade Sepulchre, and I don't know. I don't remember if I got the if there's like a home point crystal in there or not, but we can just take the staging point. It's like literally right across the way from the Mamulja training ground stage point. So, and we actually have a fight coming up, believe it or not. If that much wasn't ringing obvious by the fact that Gesso, you know, knocked out Rishfee and then lied to us about where Avjang is, and, you know, is very clearly a Far Eastern ninja spy. Despite the fact that he's adorable and kind of a nit. I wonder how many cheaters just like clip through the staging point door. Because I don't think it's that thick. I know it's thick enough that it stops all aggro and like the zoning thing like helps you, but I'm pretty sure you could actually just clip through it if you're a cheater. There's so much stuff like that in this game that you could just ignore how you're supposed to interact with it and cheat your way around it with a third-party tool. Always in the name of convenience, quality of life. Never because you're just a dirty fucking cheater, you know. Pooks would not work for lizard trials. And neither would the wyverns, but they would both work for dragon trials, which actually we'll have to do dragon kill shots. I think for the upgrade to 80. I think it's the next kill shot trial. So, probably come back here for that. Or maybe I'll go somewhere else with slightly easier. Like for kill shot trials, like you just want like the weakest target that you can actually build TP on before killing. Like that's what you want. Like you want something that by the time you reach 1000 TP, it's almost dead, and you can just weapon skill and kill it no matter what, unless like your weapon skill completely whiffs. Oh, there is a home point crystal back here. How about that? Didn't realize that. Okay, there's no map to the Jade Sepulchre as far as I remember. Yeah. There's literally just a place for battlefields. You know, we came here for the Blue Mage Genkai fight. There's also some Imperial Standing Notorious Monster fights you can do here, which basically function like Burning Circle ones and the Beastman Seal ones. But you just have to pay Imperial Standing for a key item to enter the fight, and I think they're available like once a week. Hey man, this chair of mine is getting just as creaky as the old one. Still comfortable though. Wait, I can hear the Mamulja talking up ahead. Can you understand what they're saying? I know a little of their language. Translate. Doubt there is not. For what we have long searched, it must be. Ah, shit. It's all the leaders of the Mamulja. The Golulaja, the Sage Lord, Rotolja, I guess is this Sahagin. Meant to threaten us is this toy. Dangerous it does not seem. The intention of the Urhgan leaders, that is. The cunning tricks and devious plans that have used against us. Forgotten, have you? Even so, to fear this in this frail contraption, what is there? Oh, Jane. Facts we do not have. Disassemble this gadget we must. That will not be necessary, Landlord. Not if this secrets are already known. Know these secrets, do you imply? I believe I do. To deceive us, you attempt. Allow the charade, we will not. Stay silent, outsider, you shall. Over this is not. In the outsider's opinion, we are interested. Or dark. Because for 100 years we could, or instead hear something useful we may. Yes, our dark. Kindred to the brethren of the shining scale, what say you? My lord, if I may. This is nothing more than a simple puppet. It is a mechanical creation that belonged to Jalzahn, the former emperor of Aht Urhgan. Jalzahn. Yes, my lord. It was the first automaton in existence, a personal project of Jalzahn's. An invention of our old enemy, Jalzahn. Ignore this, we cannot. Even if this is, destroy, how can it? Broken many of these puppets we have. Allow me to explain. I have learned some very interesting facts from my observations around the palace. Interesting facts? A craftsman known as Gatsad often passes through the Imperial White Gate. Gatsad. Heard that name, have we? Heard that name we have. I would not be surprised, especially if he was the craftsman who led the development of the automatons. Then this... Yes, this is likely his creation. There is more. This man is also the head alchemist for the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute, an organization that is currently investigating the ruins of Azadal. The Scotside, both craftsman and alchemist he is, and historian as well. So it appears. What is even more intriguing are the Empire's activities of 50 years ago. Even before the invention of the automatons, the scholars of the Empire were conducting large-scale investigations of the ruins. Rumors say that the ancient Azadal technology gleaned from these archaeological sites was used in the construction of modern mechanical puppets. Created are these automatons to search the ruins. Why do they continue? Oh, that was a guess there. That was a memo. My bad. No! Accept this truth I cannot! To resurrect the Iron Colossus of legend, do these Aht Urhgan fools seek? All I have is a rumor and hearsay, but the signs... Madness! The Iron Colossus consumed our GI in flames, that machine did. To extinguish our entire race, do they intend? Malolja! Be calm you must. In front of our guest, you embarrass us. An overlord of the Mamulja, are you not? Artak, we apologize, but a dire situation this is. The fate of our entire race hangs in the balance, it does. I understand your fears, Sage Lord, but it is not why we are here to have forged an alliance. The Imperial Army does not have the resources to escalate a war if we fight on two fronts. On the dawn of our agreement, we will unleash our fury upon the Empire, the Mamulja hordes from the west and my fellow warriors from the east. The research of some ancient war machine will be the last thing on the minds of the Aht Urhgan commanders. And once we have seized control of the Empire, we have only to cripple this iron engine of destruction beyond repair to guarantee our total victory. Alright, my throat hurts a little too much. I can't really do my fake grunting, growly voice that was probably incomprehensible anyway. If an empty promise, this is not. I swear to you by the heavens of the earth, I shall not play you false. If my nation's oath should be broken should it? I will present myself before you and fall upon my sword. Fall upon your sword you will fall. Far Eastern tradition is this. Conviction you possess. Artak, is something amiss? Smell it I can, the flesh of smooth skins. Out you come, a place to hide there is not. From this sepulchre there is no escape. That's right, guess so. Calm wind, you overheard? I'm not the guest show you know. Uh-oh, he's ashamed of his secrets. Lizard man. Return Avjang to us immediately. Yes. You tell them, Minajing. If you damage a single bolt of Avjang's... A name this toy has? Avjang! Stop that! You stop that at once! Avjang, you have to wake up! It's no good. Maybe her breaker is broken? Fine, I'll activate her myself. Yes, her receptor is not receiving. Smooth skins. Before this machine, about your own life, you should worry. Autarch, to the Landlord leave these intruders. Gahilja! Offended the Autarch, have we? Very, very well. In your Landstorm, our place we trust. Or our trust we place. Yes, regret this you will not. Send more soldiers in time, I will. Deprive them of all the fun. Do not. Oh snap! He's got a Wyver he's gonna ride. Look out! Rishfee took one for the team and lost his mask. Oh, the order of my kills you've ruined. I'm fine. But your wound. You forget I'm an immortal. Now get out of here. Urhgan is more important. We will return for you. Okay, so now we got to do a fight, and I don't know why I keep holding on to these orbs after I do up in arms, but I do. I sent some food over from one of my old character, my mule. I thought I put it... Oh, a hedgehog pie will do. It's not the food I sent myself, but it'll do. Puppet in peril. The record is held by Union Burst. Wahaha, die, smooth-skin slug. Aw, red mage protecting a blue mage, how about that? What? Be stomped as well, do you wish? Okay, so I don't know if we could solo this or not. We might be able to, but I don't really want it to take a long time. So I'm just gonna use some trusts. I mean, we are only 75 still, so. You notice that he's able to cast white magic on himself. I think his job is something like Paladin / Dragoon or something, but he rides the Wyver, so he's actually like a unique monster type. But he's not very hard. But back in the day, you did this fight with the full party, and Ninja Subjob more or less nerfed all the dangerous stuff, and he's got a fire move that's kind of rough, I guess, but it's not really anything to write home about if you've got Bar Fire and Stone Skin. I don't think anything paralyzes or silences me, but I might as well put it on, I guess. And let's see, how many Virtue Stones do I got? 38? Yeah, okay, that'd be fine. He might not even actually be able to damage me at all. Didn't he already buff himself with Shell? I wonder why he buffed himself with Shell again. And only Shell 3, huh? This is like a level 70 Paladin or something. Okay, so you want to melee him from behind. He has a unique move called Granite Skin, which is, you know, what every Wyver has, that makes them immune from the front, but not from the sides. Although even from the front, it's just like Stone Skin. Oh, he's immune to slow, huh? That's interesting. And I think you can actually dispel Granite Skin. But like I said, it doesn't really matter too much. Good old Shikarizi. Always close the skill chains. And down he goes. And he had some dialogue in the middle of the fight, but it kind of got lost in the battle spam. If the following cutscene isn't too long, I'll read his things. It's probably like, haha, you're just gonna die, you wimps. And then probably towards the end it's something like, oh my god, I can't believe you're kicking my ass. That's usually what battle dialogue boils down to in this game. Although there are some exceptions. So we killed the Lance Lord. We killed one of the Mamulja's top generals. Lady F. Mao. Just a little further, F. Mao. Almost there. A little farther. Finishing, come a little closer. Give me your hand. Finishing. Hee. I'll be taking this little tin man. Thanks very much. Finishing. Uncouth imp, unhand me. Unhand me, I say. Whoa, that wound wound you a little tight, didn't they, Tin Man? Do you really want to be squirming around like that? It's a long way down. We'd have to change your name to Scrap Metal Man. Please don't hurt him. That's more like it. You don't want to end up like your tin lady here now, would you? Huh? Another ghost? Another invisible person? Oh shit! It's the Corsairs! This is the automaton couple of the Calamity? I'm pretty sure, boss. Return her at once! She's my Avshang! What did you just say? Give me back my Avshang! Are you hard of hearing? What are you laughing at? Flit, I do believe Avshang and Minujing are the puppets we are looking for. And here I thought arriving late to the strategy meeting would have resulted in some unpleasantness with my Mamulja hosts. Instead, these gifts simply fall into my hands. Aye aye, Captain. Or Captain. Swing. Wait! she's thinking like it's like dropping into water. She's like plugging her nose. Mao, I failed. Can you hear that rumbling? A large force of Mamulja is headed this way. 70, 100, no more like 200. There must be soldiers that the Yautark spoke of sending. He's leaving nothing to chance. Listen to me, Calmwind. That way appears to be relatively clear for the moment. You must try to escape from here. Once you're out, you have to go after Lady F. Mao. This is my duty as an immortal. I'll hold the lizard men as long as I can. I have pledged my life to the Empress. Save your pity. Now go! Oh man, I liked him. He actually cared about Athmal. Give him hell, Rishfee. Wolf roar to the lion. Wolf roar to the lion. The gold has been taken. I repeat, the gold has been taken. The mission is in the hands of the Wildcat. I repeat, the mission... And I believe... I could have sworn he used self-destruct there and that you saw the explosion, but I guess... maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay, so what mission are we on now? Prevalence of pirates. Athmal and her puppets have been taken by the mysterious Luzaf. Track down the Corsair and his captives and repay Rishfee's noble sacrifice. So, whether he used self-destruct or not, which I was pretty sure he did, but maybe they changed the cutscene just to make it more ambiguous. Says, head to Arapago Reef entrance from the Tefika Isle staging point. Alternatively, use all these modern teleportation methods. Hey, can I not get out of here? We're cramming a lot of Treasures of Aht Urhgan into this one. Okay. I think I might change my job, just for a little bit of fun. Like, we don't need to be on Red Mage, I don't think, for these next missions. And, I mean, we're only an hour in, so shouldn't take too long to change. I'm going to change over to Warrior, because I want to show off the weapon skill Fell Cleave. Because we will have access to it with our Fortitude Torque, as well as our Hecatomb Feat. And also because of our merits. You need 300 Great Axe skill to use it. And the next fight, which is actually in just a few missions, assuming the cutscenes don't take like 20 minutes each, we'll get to the next fight, and it requires, well, it doesn't require, but we could do AoEing, so might as well give it a shot. Yeah, Samurai's good. Of course, it is gonna slightly make things a little bit awkward with our weapon skill setup, because like we'll have to stop using the Phosio Gorget, and we'll have to use the Fortitude Torque instead in the next slot. Which that could be neat. Like mentally trying to remember all the gear I use on Warrior. Because we're still 75, my TP setup shares a lot of gear with the across jobs, like because of the dusk set. Fortitude Torque. Blitz Ring. We might as well bring out our Invisible and Sneak Ring, because we'll need to be sneaky snuckering around a little bit. So basically, we have to go to the cutter. Alright, I guess our only hint for this mission is the fact, oh, you gotta track down Luzaf, and it's like, okay, how? And then it's like, oh, you know, where you went before, you know. It's just like the only real thing we got going on, so. Let's see, I think my Hecatomb and stuff is in my wardrobes here, or not, yeah, wardrobe. Also, we got the Warrior's Cuisses from Dynamis Bucidine while I was farming and refarming Mega Boss Pop items. Also, while we're here in Aht Urhgan, I guess I might as well show off the NPC that you can store the mythic base weapons in, so you don't have to lug them around with you and have them take up inventory space. Okay, so let's see. Alright. Macros, macros, macros. Okay, so we'll stick with the Chivalrous Chain for the TP setup. And then we will... Actually, we're going to go with... we'll just keep it the same, I don't care. Yeah. And normally the Fuchsia Gorget would just still be better. The only reason I'm subbing in the Fortitude Torque is because without it, we won't be able to do Fell Cleave. Okay, let's see now. Boom. Okay. And I guess I can show off the Fortitude Axe. Its only real benefit, though, over our Byakko's Axe that has 119 base damage is the fact that it can attack 4 times because of the Jailer weapons effect stacking with double attack. So it has some dramatically high TP gain and looks kind of cool. Let's see, there we go. And just like I thought, we have 301 Great Axe skill, and so like this, we have access to Fell Cleave. Delivers an area attack. Radius varies with TP. Skill chain attributes: Scission, Precision, Detonation, Impaction. It's really interesting. Yeah, we got our Virtue Stones. I guess we could make a style set real quick. Let's see. I want this Valkyra mask. Adam and Hauberk. Yeah, that seems like it'd be cool. Yeah, now we're like Zayd Light or something. But yeah, now whenever we switch into our weapon skill setup on Warrior, we have access to Fell Cleave at 75. It doesn't have that many uses, but actually before one of the reasons I stood less of a chance against the Dynamis Bucidine Mega Boss by myself is because I got too used to my trusts having double their HP and MP amounts because they were doing a trust like power up campaign or whatever, where the trusts all have like, you know, double stats basically, or double HP, double MP, which makes them a lot more durable. And during that campaign, I did stuff like I fought oh, and you know what? I need to put the Warrior's Cuisses to use. There we go. Okay. But I fought, come on, brain, work with me here. Nope, lost my train of thought completely. Thinking about too many things at once. Okay, here we go. Yeah, trusts were at double power, and I was trying my best to finish my relic so I could record again, so I could show off the jailers to see on screen and stuff. And so, like, I held back too long, didn't realize the campaign was ending, didn't no life it hard enough for my relic, and didn't get it in time. Well, I mean, yeah, more or less. The way I recorded it, I just didn't want to move on. So, like, I guess I could have gone and killed Jailer of Fortitude without the relic, because it turned out, you know, he was beatable without it. In fact, it actually lowered my damage to fight against him with it, because the additional effect on Excalibur is actually resistible. It's considered slashing damage, even though it's a magical in light hit. That's supposed to be 1/4 of your total HP, or current HP. I don't know what all these guys in Vermilion Cloaks are doing, but they're clearly all bots. Weird. But yeah, so this guy, Ganram, I may have visited him before, but basically he will store any of these mythic weapons for us for the fee of 1 bronze piece. So, you know, if you don't want to just throw them down, if you want to consider doing a mythic, then it's a really good idea to, like, 1, remember that he exists, and 2, put the mythics into him. And the only mythic I'm really considering, honestly, like, I think a lot of them are very cool. I would love to do multiple mythics, but, like, they're very time intensive, just like the relic, like even more time intensive than the relic. So, like, this is a weapon found in the ruins, simply breathtaking. I shall most happily display it in my gallery. Of course, you shall retain all ownership rights and privileges that pertain to the weapon. If you wish it returned, you need have merely ask. So, like, instead of throwing these away, you just have him keep them in his gallery. This guy's also the guy who you trade salvage armor to in order to create salvage armor, which I haven't really gone over yet. Because I don't think I can handle any of the salvage zones at 75. I might be able to handle the one with the weakest mega boss, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle all the bosses that lead up to it, because I don't think you can use trusts inside a salvage. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can. But yeah, the mythic I'm leaning towards most strongly is the Samurai mythic, and that's because it's basically like a Soboro Sukihiro, but you can upgrade it into item level, and you only get the occasionally attacks 2 to 3 times with the I-119 Aftermath, but more or less, like, it lets Samurai get TP like a dream. It's supposed to be super duper powerful. And its associated weapon skill is one of my favorite weapon skills in the game. Although I did also consider Scythe, and I did also consider Great Axe, and Red Mage Sword, and Blue Mage Sword. Like, the real weakness of the mythics, in my opinion, isn't the fact that, like, they're hard to get. It's just the fact that they're job specific. So, like if I could, I would probably actually make like 10 of these things, because like quite a few of them actually sound and have cool weapon skills and stuff. Like, I like Thieves. Thieves is really cool. Bards is really cool. White Mages is really cool. Summoners is really cool. Like, they're pretty cool things. And did I not? Oh yeah, I guess I ran out of inventory space before I can grab the rest. But, yeah, the only one I'm really super considering is the Great Katana. And it's nothing against any of the other jobs. Like, Corsairs would also be really cool to do. I wonder if we can trade more than one at a time. I'm going to try and trade more than one at a time. Okay, no, it just took the first one that was in the... But boom, we just gained 19 inventory slots. And the only reason I withheld the Great Katana is that's the one I'm considering doing eventually. And it's for multiple reasons. Like, one, I think it's cool, I think it's a good mythic to make. 3 samurai, or... Well, 2, samurai's really cool and good job. 3, the Wind Slicer, it's a reference. All the mythics are names. They're all references. Their base form name, and sometimes their ending name as well, but usually it's just their base form name. Are reference to weapons that you find in earlier Final Fantasy titles. Most of the Final Fantasy titles that predate the PlayStation era. Like, for instance, the Brave Blade for Paladin, that eventually becomes the Burt Gang. The Brave Blade or Brave Sword is a hidden weapon in Final Fantasy V that you get from a special village where you have a choice between the Brave Blade or the Chicken Knife. And the Brave Blade has maximum attack power, or something like that, but only maximum attack power if you never ran from the fight. Whereas the Chicken Knife has maximum attack power, but actually overcapped attack power, more like double the attack power of the Brave Blade if you've run from 100 or more fights, or something like that. And so the Brave Blade's reference to that. The Vorpal Sword for Red Mage is a reference to the Vorpal Sword from Final Fantasy I, which is of course a reference to Vorpal Sword from Dungeons & Dragons. The in case we get aggroed, I'm going to have my trust out, because there are true sight imps on the way there. Doesn't really matter which trust we pull out, so I just pull out a few to not get killed. Call it a day. Just look cool while we're walking around with this random trust setup. The Burning Fists and Burning Claws, or whatever, for Puppet Master and Monk are references to the Fire Knuckle or Burning Knuckle from Final Fantasy VI. I don't think there was an earlier instance of Fire Claws, although I guess Fire Claws were the default weapon for Yang in Final Fantasy IV, but it's not like a special weapon, so it's more of a special-ish weapon in Final Fantasy VI, where it's the strongest knuckle item that Sabin can get in the World of Balance. Then, like, the Mage's Staff is a staff that casts Fire 2 when used as an item in Final Fantasy I. The Werebuster is a club, like, which is the White Mage's mythic base form. It's a club in Final Fantasy II on the NES or Famicom. It's like a rank 3 weapon that you can find very early on. It's a very powerful club for the early and mid game, with an enhanced effect of double damage against beasts. It's also a sword in the first Final Fantasy. Then the White Slayer, that's also a sword in like the third Final Fantasy III. It's for Red Mage. It's a curved sword that Red Mage can use in Final Fantasy III that you find in Sassoon Castle. The Sasuke Katana for Ninja is a reference to the katana from Final Fantasy I, which was translated as merely katana in the original North American release, but in every remake it's been called the Sasuke Katana. So where does that leave the Wind Slicer? Well, the Wind Slicer I think in Japanese it's just called a kazakiri, which is, you know, wind cutter. And in Final Fantasy VI, there's a sword called the Tempest, which in Japanese is the kazakiri. And also one of Cyan's or Cyan's sword techniques is, you guessed it, wind cutter or tempest. So, although in the Ted Woolsey translation from the 90s, it's called quadra slice or whatever. What I'm trying to say is basically the wind slicer, the base form of the samurai mythic weapon, is a Final Fantasy VI reference to one of the coolest characters in all of Final Fantasy. And that is one of the reasons I would like to make it. Huh. Sailing without a care. The ship can take us anywhere. Flit's like, what the fuck? Da bum, papa rum, pa rum, tra la 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 la. You two need to calm down. Aphmau's just like glad to be back with her puppets. She literally doesn't care that she's in a fucking ghost ship. Minajing, what is it? You should really try to enjoy yourself. Da dum pa rum, tra la 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 la. So much fun. So exciting. Don't you think you should keep it down? Minajing, you stick in the mud. Suppressing one's joy isn't healthy. She's right, Minajing. Just look at us. We're riding on a ghost ship. Aphmau, can you see anything out there? Let's take a look. Oh, Avjan, could that be Walrus Flames? Look, there's another one. Oh ho! Fire on the water! Aphmau. It doesn't look like a weapon. The city below is burning. I wonder where it could be. Surely this isn't Alzabi. I'm sure it's just an artist's interpretation. Guess I suppose you're right. What's wrong? This huge castle thing looks like an iron giant. And this knight holding the spear is flying in the air. A giant and a knight? A colossus and a rider? Of course! How could we be so blind? This is a picture of Azadal and the Dark Rider. And the scene is, yes, the Age of Judgment. You know the subject of this painting? I must admit to some surprise. Admiral Luzaf. Be at ease, I'm not going to harm you. Just as you suppose, this painting depicts the Age of Judgment, as it occurred close to 900 years ago. In the West, the beginning of the Crystal Era was marked the year the Gordius exploded in a supernova, and banished the very night. Well, I knew that. You are well educated for a young lass. Insolence! You will address her as Lady Aphmau. You control both puppets? Quite impressive for such a slip of a girl. Nobody speaks to me in such a casual manner. Has the salt air eroded your manners? Ah, my apologies. Apology accepted. Now what do you intend to do with us? Do with you? I don't recall forcing you and your little mistress to follow me. You and Lady Aphmau. Then we should like to disembark immediately. I'm sorry, but that will not be possible. My business concerns your automaton companions. And now that I know you are the key to controlling them, my business concerns you as well. Fine by me, we never intended to return to the palace in any case. The palace? Of Zhang? Shh! It is of no import. I will instruct my crew to allow you free reign of the ship. Wait. What are you after? Why did you take off Jang away from me? What is this all about? What is this all about? You will learn soon enough. Aht Urhgan, the entire world and all its people, in fact, will soon learn. Okay, can we use our rings again yet? Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so I'll have to dip it into my... I had some powder. Okay, we just need one of each, or something like that. Of the two, you're more often going to be using silent oil over prison powder. It's always a good idea to have both on hand, but usually it's just silent oil. And maybe I didn't need to use the prison powder, but I don't know. I feel like invisible is underutilized. Then again, every time I actually need invisible, I get annoyed. So, eh. And man, I don't think those Ephemerdian shades were even actually close enough to me. Maybe I didn't need to use them at all. Ah well. Bada bing, bada boom. You're late, Comlin. The mission was a failure. Rishfee was slain. We were recruits together. Ever since the Immortals took me in as a child, we've always been close. But he was too kind-hearted to walk the path of the Blue Mage. He wouldn't have lasted long in any case. But don't blame yourself for the inevitable. The inevitable. Your instincts were right in coming to the Arapago Islands. But this stretch of water is dotted with hundreds of islands, large and small, and the terrain is complex. A straightforward search isn't practical. We have soldiers scouring both the land and the sea, but the Ashutalef has a swift sail. She won't be caught so easily. We require your further cooperation. In my function as an immortal, I officially entrust you with a new mission. You are to travel immediately to Periquia and carry out a search for Lady Afmao. This is a Periquia Assault Area Entry Permit. You will need it to enter the secured area of Periquia. Try not to lose it. If, by any chance, you happen to misplace the permit, speak with Nashib at the Devuka Isle staging point. You have your orders. Track down Lady Afmao to clear the stain on your record, and honor Rishfee's sacrifice. Well, okay. Back and forth, back and forth. Okay, I'm just not even gonna sneak past these guys. I'm just gonna Sagan Third Eye, which functions as more or less a jank Yususimi. And if they want to aggro me, then they can try. And we'll just resummon our trusts, and I don't know. I guess I'll use another silent oil and prism powder when we get outside. I used to have to allocate Gil for silent oil and prism powder, but specifically silent oil, for like the first 3 years I played the game. Ninja Subjob has always allowed you to cast Invisible on yourself with Tonko Ichi or Tonko Ni and the Shinobi Tabby tools. They didn't add in Mononomi Ichi until like 2007. Or maybe it was late 2006. I'm pretty sure it was early 2007. Either way, it was kind of a kind of irritated. Look, we've got Aht Urhgan themed trust layout. do it one better. Get a Super General on here. Now, we're not going to actually fight anything out here, but maybe I'll use this setup when we get where we're going. Although, I don't know. If I'm going to AoE, I might want Lineral as the main tank or something. Also, maybe I won't use the Fortitude Axe. I don't know. Nah, I'll use it. I'll commit. I'll commit. It's just I think the Fell Cleave damage would obviously be better with the 119 base damage axe that I have. I don't know. I just want to actually use the Fortitude Axe for something, and I don't think the mission we're about to do is very difficult. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Gotta be careful walking near this pond. The pond's near Davuka Isle staging point. One of the mystery effects they can give you is actually spawning an imp notorious monster. And we could probably take it pretty easily with trust. But I remember one time I stepped in it trying to, because back in the day I liked to walk into the puddles just to see if I would get the flea effect or the stone skin effect instead of the gravity effect. And it was like a 50-50 chance. Usually I would get the flea often enough that I thought it was a good gamble. And I stepped into the puddle once, and luckily I had a group of people with me. But I stepped into a puddle, and an imp NM came out of nowhere, and I don't know. It's interesting, right? But usually this is what happens. Like, usually your leg gets stuck in swampy ground, and bada bing bada boom, you get 50 seconds of the weight status. Increased gravity is slowing down your movement. This was actually one of the places I considered coming and doing my undead killshot trials, because the Kutrubs and the Jainuns are all undead. But then I thought to myself, well, the Kutrubs kind of have too much HP, and although the damage numbers get fun because they take double damage, the Jainuns actually would be pretty good, but there's less of them here. There's actually more Jainuns at Azufile, but then at Azufile you have to deal with imps everywhere. So, I don't know, my brother actually suggested the Bostano Oubliette to me, and I'm glad he did, because that turned out to be an ideal spot for it at 75. Okay, so no incidents. No incidents on the way here. You say anything, Nashib? So now I am the teacher? No, I guess not. How much sword skill can we get on Warrior? Let's see. Looks like 278 if we put on the Suppanomimi and the Fortitude Torque at the same time. Shades of Vengeance. Only nearby party members with the same objective will accompany you to Periquia. Please confirm that all party members are cleared to enter Periquia. Okay, sure. Wouldn't it be funny if the trusts counted as our party members for the purposes of the assault? And I could, like, enter regular assaults like this with my trusts as long as I had them out before I entered the assault? That would be kind of cool, but nah, it doesn't work. I'm sure if it did, people would have figured it out by now. But this is actually, even though it's set up like entering an assault, is actually just like a quest mission, quest battlefield. You have 30 minutes to complete this mission. Okay, and yeah, I'm just going to use Valineral. Since we're AoEing, I guess I'll use... Where is it? Lion 2? I think Lion 2 has the AoE versions of her weapon skills, I think. I hope. And then I think Nanamigo has an AoE weapon skill, King Cobra Clamp. And yeah, we'll just use Kultada. And basically, the objective of this mission is to... we have to kill a random assortment of Lamia for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if basically Amnoff tried to basically send us to our death, or if these Lamia are just here to... Like, we have to kill Lamia because they're sent out to find the pirates, but they're not going to distinguish between the pirates and Half Mao, and so we have to kill them so that they can't kill her. Like, I really don't know what the deal is. Am I going the right way? I don't remember being, like, locked in the cave here. I remember basically, like, going a little ways into the assault back in the day, and then there being like a door, and you open the door and you walk outside and there's a shit ton of Lamia. And basically, like back in the day at the 75 cap originally, this mission was like a full, I don't know, 6 or 8 months before the two-handed update, and like people's damage dealing capabilities were a lot lower, and AoE weapon skills for the most part were really wimpy. And the Lamia are very strong, so you didn't really want to mess with them. So you'd pull them in one at a time and kill them like it was a merit burn party. But yeah, like, you see there's a ton of them. A ton of them. And I don't know how strong they're supposed to be. But they've got the serial numbers like in that one assault we did before. And, I don't know how good of an idea this is, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way, so. Swing again, Calm Wind. Alright. Get ready for Fell Cleave. Oh, the sound effect got killed. I guess we might want to put on Retaliation. Oh, we got stunned. Now, supposedly the assault mission ends after we kill a random one of these. So, I think we just won. Yeah. Man, that's kind of disappointing. Maybe I shouldn't have used Mighty Strike along with it. You didn't get to hear the sound effect. It has a really cool sound effect, but it got canceled out by all the extra other sound effects that the game was trying to play at once, because there's apparently a limitation on how many sound effects can play at the same time. Hey, Admiral type person. Where's the ship headed to? To Vunka Isle. Oh-ho. Now I know our destination. Now we're going to Periquia. He's right, isn't he? Periquia. I've heard stories about that place. A long time ago, it was said to have been a base for the Ephremedian Corsairs, who terrorized merchant vessels sailing the neighboring waters. They attacked innocent traders? Traders from Aht Urhgan. But one day the Corsairs were caught in a violent storm, and they all sank to the bottom of the ocean. Not all of us. What has become of Periquia without the Corsairs? Could the ghosts we've been hearing about have taken over the base? Spirits of the Corsairs, maybe. And how would you feel if that were the case? I would be... excited! Yes, this all sounds very exciting. Exciting, you could be killed. But just because they're ghosts now doesn't mean they don't remember their families and friends, right? They would be sad and lonely and suffering all this time, missing their loved ones. They probably repented their evil pirate ways and vowed to be good from now on. And the crew of the ship has been so nice to us. They were a little frightening at first, but they even gave me oil when my helmet started creaking. Is that right? Some baleful howling or something. What is it, Admiral? Silence. That sound, there's no mistaking it. Oh yes, I hear it now. Sounds like an Apicalo being strangled to death. I will never forget that sound. Never forget the tears, the blood, the bones of that day. Blood? Bones? Lamier. That sound is the shriek of the whistle used by the Imperial Army to control their pet Lamier. That can't be right. Lamier are enemies of the Empire. Those that broke free. It was 200 years ago when our hideout was invaded by biological weapons of destruction, sent by the Imperial forces in an attempt to extinguish the last of the Corsairs. Those monstrosities were the artificially created Lamier. You're lying! The Lamier attack everyone, even the capital of Alzabi. Their pets turned against them. They were just one of the many heinous blunders made by the Empire. The Imperial Army at Aht Urhgan is invincible. Why would they bother with anything as hideous as the Lamier? Besides, the Empress would never allow it. You doubt me? Come see for yourself. What should we do, Afmao? He must be lying. Of course he is. It can't be true. If the Grand Vizier were here, he would say, "Trust your own eyes." You found nothing. Grand Vizier, we're scouring every inch, but this place is like a labyrinth. Spare me your excuses. I accepted your proposal to make use of the Lamier's acute sense of smell in spite of vocal protest from the generals and against my better judgment. Understand that you will not be leaving this rock until Her Magnificence is back under our own protection. These Lamier have been enhanced through advanced chemical processes, Grand Vizier. I assure you, we will locate the Empress. You'd better hope you are right. And if you doubted all the hints and the more or less direct confirmation the last, 5 or 6 major Imperial cutscene quests gave you about Afmao being Empress Nashmira, not to mention Rhapsody's just spoiling it out of the fucking gate with the trust, this cutscene straight up just, they're not even pretending anymore. It's like, she's the Empress. You seem surprised, Calmwind. This operation should never have been necessary. I must admit, I didn't expect you to be here to witness it. So they did try to kill us with Lamia, as I feared. Who's that? That one in red armor. Looks like the Grand Vizier. It can't be. There must be some mistake. You seem distraught. Does it shock you to see your countrymen working alongside those abominations? Or perhaps you know this man in red armor? Yes. And so you should. He is, after all, my brother. What? He is my brother. What are the Lamia saying? That she is close, very close. Then cover this area again. Leave no pebble undisturbed. Your will. No. My mercenary. Of course, this must just be some horrible misunderstanding. There's some big picture that I'm just not seeing. All I have to do is ask. Rasfad! Force my hand. He's got supernatural abilities. Guess it makes sense. I mean, he is a ghost. Or at least undead. Or something. Come along with me. Nash. What are you doing here, Razvad? I received a report that you had been abducted. Are you unhurt? I'm fine, obviously. So you're the one who took her. No, he didn't do anything. I followed him of my own free will. You followed him? What were you thinking? You can't just chase after every strange character who catches your eye. Do you have any idea of the danger? You're trying to lecture me? You're the one who's working alongside Lamier, sworn enemies of the Empire. Don't you understand? I am using these creatures to look for you. That's no excuse. Those creatures are evil savages. You're the one who used to tell me that when I was a child. Are you saying that was a lie? Grand Vizier, answer her question. Calm down, Afmal. Answer the question. Are you saying you don't have an answer? Listen to me, Afmal. These creations are not the same Lamier I have taught you to fear and despise. They are aiding our army as allies to the people of Aragia. They are like your mercenary, Calm Wind. You have nothing to fear from them. Mercenaries? Like Calm Wind? That's right. Your lies know no bounds. Nothing to fear. Not for their twisted masters, perhaps. Allies to the people of Aragia, did you say? These vicious demonesses that feasted on the flesh of my still-living companions? Who are you? What would you know of it? I know all your filthy secrets. The words of a lunatic. That costume you wear. You are a descendant of the Corsairs? No, they wouldn't dare show themselves so openly. I know who you are. And now that you know, will you set your pets on me? Just as your ancestors did? It can't be. Is it true what he says? Grand Vizier, we require an answer. Afmal, do you remember the last words of our father? We are the Emperor. The Emperor and Aht Urhgan are as one. Words that you took for your own. They do more than describe the absolute authority of the Emperor. They also signify a responsibility. A responsibility to protect the lives of the tens of thousands of citizens from our countless enemies within and without the vast territories of Aht Urhgan. There are times when carrying out this responsibility requires extreme measures. But these are not the only words he used. He also said, a heavy hand is not needed to govern an empire. A gentle hand will guide the people. Anyone can see that the use of Lamier is going too far. You're twisting the spirit of his teachings. Afmal, a time will come when you will understand. You always do this. Whenever an important matter arises, you treat me like a child. I'm supposed to listen to whatever you decide. And you expect me to accept the responsibilities of an empress? Nashmira! You do not have the will to be empress. You are not prepared to allow your subjects to bleed while you remain unsullied on your throne. Why is this role so hard for you to comprehend? If I am so unsuitable, why don't you become emperor? This isn't a game, Nashmira. listen to me. I was once destined to sit on the Imperial throne, but as our father lay on his deathbed, he named you as his successor. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you know why? How should I know? I don't want to know. I never wanted to be Empress in the first place! Let me tell you why. At the time when our father named you successor, the blood of beasts flowed in my veins, just as it does in these creations. The same blue blood that you and our father despise. So he's a blue mage. I never... Just listen, it was unavoidable. It happened while you were living at the temple. I received a mortal wound while fighting on the Eastern Front at the behest of our father. The only chance I had to survive was the transfusion of regenerative blood from a monstrous donor. I never knew. Now do you understand? I do. Now please do as I say and return to the palace. I will, but... You think this is over? Do you think I will let two members of the Imperial family simply walk away? Rider in darkness, you have my gratitude. Thank you for this opportunity to avenge my people. Your cursed bloodline ends here. Oh shit! He's a vessel for Odin. What's happening to the Admiral? I've seen this creature somewhere. The Dark Rider. Underworld cur. Meet your doom. Think Lamia can stop Odin? Didn't expect this to happen so soon. Who's off? No! Ashmira, stay back. Man, we're almost at the hard limit for the recording. I hope this cutscene can wrap it up here. Oh man, I guess he can't channel Odin for too long. What's going on here, boss? Or maybe he listened to Aphmau. Flit? Quickly, take us to the ship. Hang about, are you trying to give me orders? Just do it. Flit, please, there's no time. The ship, now. Right. He's not happy about it. Ashmira, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Rishfee, I have to help you. Farewell. Okay, let's speed things up a little here. I might not be able to read every line. We've only got 6 minutes left. Forgive me. You came all this way for me. Forgive me, calmly. Please be the one friend I need. Stop! Swing. Damn it. Nashmira. Grand Vizier, I have an urgent report. You are certain? Yes, my lord. We must return at once. Calm wind. This opponent is beyond the capabilities of a single mercenary. Your mission to locate Aphmau is over. I release you from your duty. Her Magnificence is with the Admiral of the Black Coffin. Uzaf? Reassign the Immortals searching for Afmat to surveillance at the Ashu Talith. Sir. Uzaf, he may have been chosen to become the next rider. Be on your guard. Sir. Next rider? So they've dealt with this before? Like he knows what this is? Holy shit. Speak not a word of this to anyone, especially to the president of Salahim's Sentinels. Your remuneration will be sent ahead of you. Tell your employer your mission from the palace is complete. Dismissed. Wow, they let me live. Oh, goodness, excuse me. Well, thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day. We will continue on next time, because we're pretty much at the hard recording limit now. Hope you enjoyed the story. I'm really re-enjoying the story. And I'll see you again.